Righto, what are we going to do today, guys? We'll start off, I'll show you this Turbo X, a pretty rare thing actually. We'll start off with this, and then we will, who knows, but come along for the ride. Righto, so I just went and picked this up for a mate. Okay, normally I don't show cars that I pick up, but it's pretty rare, like Turbo Xa. It's was an old guy's car. It's had a few paint touch-ups over the years, but it's done 427,000 Ks. She's manual. It's a pretty sweet sort of jigger. That door's locked, I'll show you on the other side. But yeah, it's pretty original. Quite like it. When I said I was doing my TX3 stuff to build me track cars and everything like that, he's like, oh, you know, I used to have an Xa back in the day. It was pretty quick. I'd love to come and do it with you. And I've been looking, and he's been looking, and I haven't been able to find any. And he found this one. So yeah, he's going to, apparently these things race Bathurst, and he's going to go through and he's going to paint it in the Bathurst colours and stuff like that. We're going to do the sprint days. So let's have a look inside her. She's a full time capsule. I locked it. Do you know what? I thought to myself, because I get in the habit of taking the keys out of cars because they lock themselves, and do you know what? Lucky I took them out of this one because it locked itself. I would have been spewing. Let's have a look in her, eh? I think these are original door cards. They look pretty good. I think it is, because look at the back seat with the turbo in it. How cool is that? It's not that faded. It must have been in a shed most of its life. Like the plastics on the back here are still in really good shape. It's a shame they've put those speakers in, but if we can get some more material, I reckon I'll be able to repair that back to standard. I don't want to pull these seat covers off, but I'm guessing they're the standard seats. But see, 427,000 Ks. I'll try and get this bonnet open. Look, it's not rusted out up through here, which is quite surprising. It's missing this piece here on the other side. So if anyone out there in YouTube land has that trim, I'll show you. We need one if possible. Now I will repeat, see up the top there, I will repeat, I don't do this on customer jobs, on customer's car job, but this is a mate's car. And I'm positive he doesn't care. Righto. Yeah, so what a powerhouse. What do you guys reckon? What's going to be better, this or the TX3? Like, it's pretty good. It's the strut towers aren't rusty. It's had a little bit in the front there, but when I put my hand up underneath, it's not rusted through. It's like someone's put filler there when they've done one of the paint jobs. Pop-up headlights. It's an aircon car. How good is that? Pretty nice, eh? No intercooler, just straight in. It's going to be sweet. Plenty of room for an intercooler. So there you go. To start it off, guys, a little Nissan Xa. Looking forward to seeing this thing whipping around doing some of the sprint days and track days with us. I am. It's going to be good. It'll look perfect in my rear view mirror. I'll just see this Xa all the time. I might as well just get a sticker made up for my Nissan X with a Nissan Xa on my rear vision mirror. So just, yeah, because that's where it's always going to be. All right. Righto. I am going to get moving, and I'll see you again with something else in a minute. Okay, so moving stuff in the yard so we can move all this dirt. Now, it rained, as you saw in the last one. This is only a couple of days later, but we're moving. Okay, so this thing started. This one I've got in for a gearbox. I'm actually undecided what to do with all these Captivas. So this Captiva and that Captiva, that one has a good motor and reasonable body, but the gearbox is rooted. This one, the gearbox is rooted and throws heaps of codes. So I don't know what to do, but got that to start, but it won't move. Can't even get electrics on the soarer, which I'm not even surprised. The BMW's turning over, so I've just got some bastard. I'm going to spray that in. Savannah's going to try and start it, and we will see what it's going to do. Swapped over a battery in this. It does turn over. It wants to fire, but not so much. But I found that if you pour fuel down the throat, even of EFI stuff, it wants to go more than what it does with use and start your bastard or something like that. So I'm going to stick some of this down here. We'll see if we can get it to run. I'd like to drive some of them out at least. I'd like them on my new pad there, and I've got to drive them to do that. Anyway, let's see. Right, give it a hit, mate. Use your throttle. Go. Hold it flat out open because I put too much fuel in it. Put flat to the floor. That's it. Yep, go. That's it. Give it a go. Keep it going. Try and feather it and Righto, just hang on a second, I'll give it a go. Righto, new plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to chop the fence, which is down there, because I've got some other temporary fence, and that way I can just drag them out that way. So I'm going to work, I think the fuel pump's gone in this or something. I could fuck around all day, get these to run for no great reason. Once they're out and about, and I've got some afternoons, we can come back through and get them all to run. But yeah, I've got to be able to get so that I can reverse in there with the tipper, reverse in, reverse to here, and tip stuff off, and then get the bobcat and spread it through this area here. So now I've got to work out where I'm going to put all the cars. That's the big question. So righto, let's have a look. Righto, so we've got some progress going on. You can see it's clear down the driveway now. It's clear through here. Yeah, cleaned out a bit of this yard here. I'm in a bit of like, this is where I'm at, guys. So a lot of these cars have been here for quite some time because I had a mechanic working for me that done nothing and they just never got done. So this Pathfinder here, that Captiva, there's another Pathfinder that I bought for parts, and there's another Captiva that I bought for parts, and I'll be completely honest, I'm a little bit disheartened. It's a little bit annoying, but I think I'm just going to fire sale them and just get them gone and start fresh. I was talking to Savannah before. She's had to go to work. She works at the Chinese shop in town as well, but she's been helping me out cleaning up. But it's been very motivating for me, which is great. She cleaned out all this. Like this here was just piled with rubbish for absolutely no reason. These I'm going to pull out that way. I've sort of slowed down on the dirt a little bit because it's so wet, but I'm sort of, this is Neralee's other one. I've pulled the motor out of the donor car to do this one. Look, and I'd rather work on that than on the Pathfinder and that. This thing here is a Ford Explorer, and it's a V8 one. Okay, so these apparently, I met a guy the other day that bought one. The wheelbase is, and that they're normal 5x114 stud pattern, which I've got a Dodge, like I wouldn't, all right. Rat rod trucks such as that thing up there, so that's a 49 Dodge. Okay, now that's on a standard chassis, so for that I would put a Jag front and rear end or a Toyota Soarer front and rear end, which means mod plate for engine, mod plate for gearbox, and away you go, right? You don't have to worry about engines and all that sort of stuff because we're in Queensland. This thing though, Ford Explorer, to put a cab onto this chassis, it means you have to meet the ADRs, so the Australian design rules for the year of the chassis, which means 3-speed wipers, padded dash, 3-speed fan, demisters, all this sort of stuff. So you've got to put all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff in, whereas if you use that chassis and just do front and rear ends, you need nothing. You need collapsible column, but in saying that, I don't know. So what this car come in, it had a stripped spark plug hole, and it ran with the stripped spark plug, but then the spark plug got fixed, and then it ran, and now it won't run. So I'm just got the scan tool, I'm going to check what's going on. So the end of this story is I don't know what to do with this thing, whether If I can't quickly work out what's wrong with the immobiliser, whether I send it across to King or Auto Electrics, which are a freaking awesome company, get them to sort the immobiliser out so it runs and drives, and just put it aside, then I might use this as a donor down the track. And I'm thinking the Pathfinder, the Captiva, all that stuff that I have no great interest in, just fire sailing it out and work on the SS that's at home and do some of the VNs and these BMWs that I actually want to work on. Even though there might be good money in them and I need the money at the moment, don't care. Anyway, righto, I'm going to plug this in, see if I can work out what's going on with the immobiliser, and then keep moving cars so I can get in here with my dirt. Hope all that made sense. But anyway, just filling you in with the thought process of what's going on. And it's a weird looking bit of grass growing out of the back of the TX3 there. Anyway, righto, let's see what's going on. Yeah, this is just a prime example of what I was dealing with. So this thing here won't run, you know, it's got major ECU issues. I pissed about with it for about an hour, and beautiful V8, runs perfectly, no issues. Yeah. Anyway, moving forward, wreck removal job. So VN, obviously. There's some nuts and bolts there, get a little bit off everything, you know what I mean. There's a cover there for a steering column, we'll clean up. Boot rubber's not too bad, but I think I'll probably take out this for that SS I've got. I might take out that boot carpet and give it a clean up. Little things like that one of mine might not have those rubber caps over the shocks there, which would just finish her off. Because my plan would be with that manual VNSS is to make it mint except for the paint. So all the bits and pieces interior really tidy. Might even get some Walkinshaw, 20-inch Walkinshaws or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, there might be some little bits and pieces I can grab off this to use on that. There's not a lot, but just some bits and pieces, you know. You know, some of my seatbelt things might be broken. I can utilise those. Might take the heater core out just in case, because I'm getting older now. So yeah, like that carpet might even tie. Like, it's not terrible, but I don't know what that one in mine's like, so might be able to pressure wash that up. And I'm not trying to hide anything on that manual VNSS, but I'd like to drive it and use it, and it'd be good. But anyone that's going to do it's going to do a restoration. But if I can turn it into a complete running and driving thing that I can enjoy, that I can park at the supermarket, that, you know, do a road trip in it and not care, you know. But it'd just be, you just don't see VNSSs that are just ratted out, you know. Yeah, the busted SS it'll be. I'll see if I can get some plates. Busted VN. All right, I'll get this off. I've got a couple of jobs to do, and then I'm gonna go play more dirt, I think. But yeah, I got this sweet thing yesterday. I know you aren't really interested. There was two that come in. There's this Triton, and there's a Triton with a style side. When I say a style side, it's got the tub on it, but the motor's out of the other one. This thing actually runs, believe it or not. It's got sick skull knobs. Yeah, it's not too bad in the dash. It's a bit rough, but it is a four-wheel drive. I don't know what's wrong with it, but I did get it to run. It's only a 4-cylinder petrol, but it might be cheapy for someone. It's got extractors. It's fully sick. But I'll have a play with it, see if I can't get it to go, give it a clean up. It's not rusted out or anything, so it could be good. But that's just sort of the day-to-day, isn't it? And I just went and jumped on the Bobcat, and it's flat, which is, yeah, the headlights turn itself on. Drives me fucking mental. But yeah, the Cruise gearbox didn't work. Been working with Brett at Mel's Motors, because he likes cruisers as well. So the solenoid pack didn't work. I do have another Turbo Cruise there that we think has a Series 2 gearbox with Series 1 solenoids and stuff in it. So going through the learning process with them, they've got a 6T40 gearbox. The later model ones go to a 6T45. There's different solenoids in the Series 1 and the Series 2. I think that what's happened is on the speed sensor wire that runs down, there's a black covering, like a sheath that goes over it. It looks like heat shrink. and it seems to have fallen apart. I picked a lot of it off, but I think that some of that has got in behind one of the solenoids. So I'm going to pull them solenoids back out, maybe even pull the valve body out, and see if I can find, I reckon there's a bit of that black plastic stuck in the valve body somewhere. So that's what's wrong with that gearbox, because there's no metal shavings and it should work. So anyway, just day to day, dudes. And for anyone to build any sort of business or something like that, you've got to do these jobs. You've got to get an income coming in, and you've got to work. Nothing's for nothing, unfortunately. But anyway, let's keep driving. I've had this beast for a while. It's a V8 Ford Explorer, and I tried to sell it to people. My first drive, she screams. I've tried to sell it to people, right? And ABS, 4-wheel drive high. I've tried to sell it to people for a while now. Look at this. First test drive, I get a guy in front of me for a while, because someone that was working for me told me that the ECU had issues or something was wrong. But I'd tell people, look, that's a cheap car, it's a 7-seater, it's a V8, it's awesome. You know, like, it'd be a cheap thing for you to get going. But no one believed me, so I ended up playing with it myself. I'm going to drive it home tonight. It's a beast. It's my full Trump-mobile. Like, I'll get it out, hang on. Listen to that V8 scream. Yeah, buddy. I'm stoked with it. Let's throw her in, it's 4-wheel drive, so is it all-wheel or 4-wheel? Oh yeah. Woo! What a machine. Get out and show you this thing, right? I'm wrapped with it. This is my new daily. When I say daily, I mean I'll drive it once and put it back in the yard. Look at it. What a beast. Yeah, I'm stoked with it. V8, limited. Tried to give this thing away. Couldn't, like, try to sell it to so many people. So the moral to this story is, when you ring me for a cheap car and I say, look, I've got this here, pretty sure it's got this little issue, buy the cheap car. Like, yeah. Anyway, I'm stoked with it. Look at that. My new beast. It just done mad doughies. Yeah, aircon works. It's got dual zone air conditioning. Needs a code for the stereo. Could not be happier. It's got a tyre pressure monitor that has a fault. Ready? Beast. Does it skid? Ready? That'd be a no. I'm gonna drive this home tonight though. I'm wrapped with it. Ooh, she's towy. Yeah. Should chop the exhaust off it, but ooh, she's floaty. I don't know, what do you guys reckon? What a beast! Oh well, I'm wrapped. I'll drive this home tonight. It's got heaps of fuel. That's about the only reason I'm driving it home, and I just don't want to get in the truck again. Ready? Yeah, buddy. Righto. I'm wrapped with it. I'm very happy with that. But I did meet a guy the other day. I think I spoke to you about this before. They use these chassis for to put like those sort of Dodge cabs and stuff on. I wouldn't use, like, I've got a lot of these with short chassis, so I wouldn't use a cab and not a chassis. But if I can find a cab, because see, they run normal Ford stud pattern, which means easy for wheels. The wheelbase looks about right. I reckon I could build some sort of cool rat rod, 4-wheel drive, lifted, 35-inch tyres. Yeah, and it's already a V8. So all we need to do is chop the exhaust off and do a beast. I'm wrapped with that thing. To think that sat in the front yard for a year or so, all because someone didn't know what they were doing. Look at that. Tomorrow, I'm driving the Gemini home. Who am I kidding? Alright, I'm going to try and move some of these cars around so I can, yeah, righto. Nothing better than driving a new love home, and it doesn't start in the morning, but Same thing again, had to jump the starter, so must have a lazy starter in or a solenoid gone. But yeah, so I'm actually pretty happy with this big girl. I'm gonna have a look for some wheels, and yeah, have a look for some wheels, either go up or down, I'm not sure yet. Springs, what do they run? Just coil springs in the front, so I can chop them, chop, and in the rear, I can't see. Let's have a look. Yeah, they're the same. They're same as a Jag, but a big single. So yeah, worst case scenario, yeah, rear air conditioning. What we got? This thing is quite nice. It's got like your dual zone air conditioning, so like the same as a Monaro, cold on one side, hot on the other, so you can adjust your different temperatures for both sides. It all seems to work, which is quite good. I think that I saw a thing last night on one, that tyre fault thing, just someone hasn't put the sensors back in. But yeah, it's actually not terrible. I'm pretty sure she's a 7-seater as well, which is pretty cool. So in the back, big handle, it's all broken there. It's like a territory where they break, and it's got that, which is the most important bit. V8, yeah buddy. So it's got like heaps of schmegma and stuff. I don't know how this works. Yeah, but that seat comes back. I think it's sticky, which is great. Gotta love a bit of sticky car. Well anyway, at least I know I've got to order a starter for it and put a starter in, because the solenoid's lazy. Maybe the more I use it, the better it gets. This Triton come in. Righto, so this thing's not rusty. The only reason I'm sort of half falling in love is this tub. I can use these flares here for our deleter because I put those big wheels on. You guys said you wanted to see everything. This is what goes through my head all day, every day. Maybe that carby there I can use for that new forklift with the patrol motor. But yeah, so this thing's not actually too bad. I know it looks atrocious, but it's yeah, the dash isn't all wrecked. It would clean up. I know it's old, but what could you put in one of these? Like, have any of you guys built one of these Tritons? It is full drive, set of wheels makes a big difference. Like, all the grill's good, bull bar's good. It's getting, you guys that buy cars all the time, as you know, it's getting harder and harder to find cars to find and buy and play with and do. So I don't know, a 5-litre V8 would be nice in this, or even an Ecotech, because the gearbox is still in it. That's what that board's holding up. So maybe a Buick in it or something, or an Ecotech would make this into a beast, like 4-wheel drive V6. Yeah, this one here, what I got at the moment, I've got no room at the yard because of my dirt, remember? So this here is a Ford Focus, obviously. Now these run the Duratec engines, and the 3 bolt hole Duratec engines are the ones that you put into the Escorts. You can get rid of the EFI off them, and you can put carby, motorbike carbies on them. They run 4 separate carbies with trumpets and that, which is pretty cool. Or there's a place called Retro Ford in the UK that sell kits to move everything around to fit them into. It's about $3.5 grand, $4 grand for sump, water relocation stuff, pipes. Our bin's not out, I better hurry up. And this Outback. Now, I saw one of these the other day, priced, I know it's a pump truck, not a garbage truck. This thing looks rough, and it's strapped a timing belt, but I don't know whether to bother with it or not. It is auto. It's sort of hard because the paint's gone off. It's just, the second-hand car market at the moment's weird. Like, you can't buy anything cheapish, sub 5,000. If I pulled the heads off, done the timing belt, changed the valves on it, got it back together, because the paint's down, will it sell or not? Like, it's a hard call. Like, what do you do? Anyway, let's get this circus on the road. And there she is. Look how clean that is now. This thing was a turd. Still is a bit of a turd, but at least it's a sort of semi-respectable turd now. Gonna give it a bit of a wipe over, get a bit of shine to the paint. All the trays cleaned out. It's got a good steel tray on it. It runs pretty good too now. Like, it's still a bit dirty and that. I've got a seat cover in the back of a car over there, so I'm going to get Savannah to pull that out tomorrow. Put a nice seat cover over it, wipe the dash over, and yeah, just take it for a little bit of a test drive, make sure it's going to be alright for someone, and put it up for sale, flick it on. Yeah, I've got the paint for the deleaker and paper and all sorts of stuff. So I'll end up painting that tomorrow, and then the deleaker will be ready to go. And I've got a guy coming for the Pathfinder, and I'm just going to fire sale that and get it gone. Same as the Captivas, just out the door, cheap ship boxes. If no one wants to buy them cheap to repair them, say $1,500 each or something, they can go to scrap. But yeah, it's all happening. Righto. See you on the next one. I'm going to test solenoids tonight and yeah, get the Jag in on the hoist because we've got to do that head gasket.